My name's Dave DeBow, founder of MoneyPartnerFormula.com, and this show is built for everyday real estate investors who are actively doing deals and looking to scale using other people's money. So if you're an active real estate investor and you want to get featured on this show to talk about your own real estate and capital raising experiences, then just go to daveinterviewsyou.com. Now let's get rolling with this episode, and remember to subscribe for daily interview content.
Hey gang, welcome back. Today I got an old friend on the podcast, Odin Zavier. I've known for, a long time. I don't even know. Doesn't look like it from his baby face, but yeah, I think we've been connected for at least 15 years, maybe 20. I'm not sure. And Odin's been in and around the Canadian real estate game all that time. That's how we first got connected. And these days, he's working on an exciting new project. It's still kind of in the development phase, but it's very interesting. So we're going to take a deep dive into the sexy, exciting brain of Mr. Odin Zavier and what his next big project is. Odin, welcome to the show, bud.
And Dave, thanks so much for having me here. It has been a little while, but I've been watching what you're doing and the many podcasts that you've been having.
We do one or two. That's
kudos to you for being an important influencer in the industry.
Thank you, my friend. All right. So we were talking a little bit off camera about the exciting project that you're working on right now. So let's not get into pre-IPOs and all that kind of stuff. Let's just say, yeah, you're going to be launching this in the not too distant future. But it sounds like you've always been very creative, especially when it comes to real estate. And so this is bringing business and real estate and creativity all together. Mm-hmm. So let's try and unwrap this for everybody. And if it gets a little bit too complex, forgive me, but I'll jump in and have you dumb it down for me. All right?
Sounds good.
All right. So let's start with step number one. What is this company called that you're in the midst of launching?
It's currently called Rico Central Alberta.
Okay, very good. And what are you going to be doing this? You're going to be doing a few different things, but let's kind of take a look at all the different pieces of the puzzle of this thing.
Yeah, sure. No problem. So what I found is that there's two major problems in real estate space is most real estate investors are limited to their own capital, and most public companies are without any real substance behind them. And so what we're doing is we're basically solving both at the same time. We're putting real substance behind a public company, essentially.
You're putting real estate behind a public company. Okay. That's pie in the sky. So bring us down to earth. What does that actually look like? What's the real estate that you're bringing to the table that this company is going to be doing?
Perfect. So over the last, I would say 4 years that we've been developing, so my JV partner asked me to find some property. We spent 2 years trying to look for property in the lower mainland that was affordable. Ultimately, one of my friends on the island had...
Thanks for everybody listening to this who's outside of Canada. He's referring to Vancouver Island.
Yes, correct. Vancouver Island in British Columbia. Thank you very much. Yeah. Yes, yeah. Exactly. So my friend said, hey, I have some commercial property over on the island.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, oh, great. This is fantastic. So we went and we purchased it. We purchased 3.1 hectares.
3.1 hectares. Okay. Commercial property.
Yep.
Got it. So now what's going to happen with this property?
So we brought it through the BP and then the development proposal. And now we got at the building proposal stage. And
you're going to build what?
We're building a 70,000 square foot warehouse space with 21 units.
Okay, very good. So is that a mixed use warehouse type thing where guys and gals can run their companies out of this thing?
That's right.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, you got it.
Like flex industrial space kind of idea. Is that
exactly. Correct? Precisely. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
and so what I did, yeah, exactly. So what I did was I was like, okay, I'm going to pre-sell all these. So I got 700 phone numbers for local businesses. I phoned them all up. I got 70 people that were interested, and we're just at the stage right now where we have to get our disclosure statement in order for people to purchase.
Well, congratulations, because that's a lot of work jumping through all those hoops and getting that property to that, ready to build space. Okay, so that's part of this whole thing. So you got this property. You're going to put up a flex industrial on there.
Correct.
What else is the company going to be doing?
Can I mention that we have an appraisal, and the appraisal told us exactly how much it's going to be to build it and what our profits are going to be. So that's already there. So we've got that.
Good.
Yeah. So what was your next question? Sorry.
Okay, so you got this property that we're still figuring out what the business is doing here. So we got a property, you're going to be building flex industrial on it. You got 70 hot to trot prospects and you got a valuation. Okay.
Yes.
What else is you're mentioning offline that you get something about house moving or something like that?
Right. Yeah. Okay. So what I recognize is that building a warehouse takes a bit of time.
Yeah.
And what investors like is they like to see movement pretty quick. So for the last, again, 4 years, I had a gentleman as a part of my club approach me and say, "Hey, Odin, this is what I've been doing. You want to partner up?" I'm like, "Absolutely." So
what's he been doing?
I'll share it with you. So what he's been doing is he's been taking houses that are in good condition, that we have an inspection on, that are going to be destroyed and put into the landfill. There's about 4,000 houses that go into the landfill here in the Lower Mainland of British Columbia per year.
Hey there, if you're a capital raiser, a syndicator, or a fund manager, and you're looking for a steady flow of incoming accredited investor leads, then go ahead, grab a free copy of my new book, How to Get 20 Accredited Investor Meetings Every Month Without Cold Calling, Networking, or Chasing People. You can get that at 20accreditedinvestorsbook.com. Again, that's the number 20accreditedinvestorsbook.com.
Wow. Okay. So he's talking about Vancouver, British Columbia.
Correct.
Big city. And when they're redeveloping it, they're basically demolishing these perfectly good houses and throwing them in the dump. And what this guy does is instead he buys them for $1 and moves them. Is that basically what I'm understanding?
That's right. Yep.
Okay. Yeah.
Yep.
So he's been doing this already where? In the Lower Mainland?
Yeah, he's been doing it in the Lower Mainland and Vancouver. Well, he takes the property from the Lower Mainland.
Takes the house from Vancouver too.
Exactly. And then we move it onto the island.
No, but is that what he's already been doing?
Yes. Yep.
Okay. Very interesting. And how many of these has he been done over the years?
He personally has done 3.
Okay, cool. All right. So the idea is you buy a perfectly good house that's going to get torn down and you basically get it for nothing. And you go to all the time, trouble, expense of moving it onto, in your case, Vancouver Island. So are you going to be putting them on that 3.1 hectares where the warehouse is, or where are they going to go?
No. Good question. No. So we have to buy a piece of land and match it up to the house.
Okay.
And then as soon as those are married, then we basically do some renovations. We put a foundation on it.
Yeah.
And now it's ready to go. I mean, this is in the news all over the place.
Yeah.
So,
well, it's very complicated to move a house. I got to imagine it's way more complicated to move it, especially when you got to use a ferry to get the darn thing from the mainland to the island. So how the hell does that all work? And I mean, it's complicated enough on a straight road when you're only going 10 kilometers. I can't even imagine taking across on a boat.
Yeah. 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 So the company there's a couple of companies that we're working with that specialize in this, and that's all insured, and they've got engineers and all that jazz. And what they use barges.
Ah, there we go. Yeah. You're going to fit on a ferry. So yeah.
No, it's not going to fit. No, it's not going to fit on a ferry.
Complicated though. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, but they can fit up to a 2,000 square foot house.
Don't have to be taking it all apart or anything like that. You can kind of plunk the whole thing there.
It depends. Depends on how far inland you are with the actual house. What they'll sometimes do is they'll cut the roof off, invert it, and then travel it that way. Well, we don't necessarily want to do that. And so you have to be pretty specific where you look for a house. You're looking near a waterway where it's going to be easy access for the house moving team, the structural house moving team. Yeah. And we want to make sure that we're positioning the land because the bank has certain requirements as to where it wants the land as well. So and it has to do an appraisal ahead of time to make sure there's margins. So there's a lot of really cool steps.
Oh God, I can only imagine how complicated that is. So fascinating though. That's very cool. So based on the 3 that this guy has done.
Yep.
I can only imagine how expensive it is. Like even get the damn thing for free. the cost of moving it, the cost of insurance, all of that stuff. Then you got to buy the land and yada, yada, yada. What do the numbers kind of look like on a typical deal based on your experience, Odin?
Well, I love where you're going with this because this is what got me excited. This is like one of the only deals that I haven't done. What I'm talking about, the two things that I actually was really interested in that were super cool. And I was like, okay, I got to do that because it wasn't in my repertoire, right? I haven't done that before. So the cost of so you can actually purchase a house directly from the house moving company. And then it comes along with the actual moving of that.
Ah, so it's all in. Okay, cool. Cool.
Yeah, there in some instances. You can also get houses that are listed like on Marketplace for free. And there's been a number of houses that have been listed on Marketplace for free. Or
I'm thinking the simplest thing is to buy from the house mover because then you don't have to worry about can it be moved. You already know that, right?
But you still have to do your inspection.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Before it gets poured out of the foundation.
It's like a contract for purchase and sale, and you got to make sure you're still doing your inspection. You got to get your asbestos done. You got to make sure that the trusses are correct. You got to crawl around this and make sure that you can actually move it, and it's not going to cost you an arm and a leg to renovate.
Right.
So you can get one of these houses for $0 down, as you said, or $1. You can get them, but then you still have to pay for the shipment.
Yeah.
So you're looking at, if you have the house already, you're looking at shipping costs for, let's say, between 70 and 140,000.
Okay.
Depending on the size of the house.
Got it.
Then you're looking at the land, and on the island right now, land is pretty darn affordable. And that's the next thing we're doing is land banking. Got to buy land when it's affordable, right?
Right.
So then we marry the house with the piece of land. And again, there's certain criteria. I'm not going to go. That's the secret sauce. The criteria is the
fair enough. I want the big picture anyhow. So yeah.
Okay, perfect. And then so let's just say you're looking at, let's say, make numbers easy, 150,000 for the house, and let's just say 250,000 for the land.
Okay,
which is actually quite realistic.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So 250 and 150. That's 400. Like $400K.
Yep.
All right. Next, we're looking at renovations because what we need to do is we need to put it on a new foundation.
Yeah.
So we can get the foundation company to come in. That's X amount of dollars. And then you have to make sure the utilities are going to be there. And usually all utilities are kind of there already. We just have to tap into it.
Yeah.
And then you're looking at like drainage and you're looking at, whatever stuff.
So sorry to interrupt. You're not looking at traditional land banking where you're buying a farmer's field and, hoping the city catches up. You're buying residential lots that are already serviced and ready to go. So you don't have to fool around with that stuff, right?
Right. Because we've seen lots go from, let's say, 450 down to 350, even down to 300 at this time right now. Because the market, it's a little bit slow, right? It's a little slow. So this is great time to do that in my opinion.
All right. So let's say we're all in this, what do we say? 400?
We're into it for about 550.
550. Okay.
With all the renovations.
With the renovations.
With all the renovations.
All right. And the ARV, after repaired value, like ready for market price tag on this would be approximately what?
Typically, we look for about 150 to 250,000 in equity. So we're looking at about
200 grand, give or take.
Yeah, exactly. So you're looking at around, let's say it's 6, you're looking at about 750 to 850. And we buy land in areas where houses are already at that price.
Yeah. Yeah.
So there you go. Those are the numbers. And the turnaround time for that is between, as long as you have the land and the house, that takes a bit of time, between 8 to 12 weeks.
Yeah. Much faster than, way faster than doing most flips.
Yep.
Way faster than doing a development from the ground up. Okay.
And the margins are there too.
Yeah. So the idea is that the company is going to be doing this to be generating some, well, not cash flow, but chunks of cash in return for the investors while the other stuff's happening. So land banking, moving houses, doing the warehouse, anything else that the company is going to be doing there, Odin?
Yeah. Purchasing other profitable commercial and multifamily properties
Okay.
across Canada. Across Canada.
All right.
So we got a couple that we're looking at in Edmonton right now that have a good opportunity for us.
Very nice. Well, hey, these are exciting plans. Very, very cool to get that take on the house moving things, especially if you're moving it from, mainland to the island. That's very exciting. I'm sure there's going to be some people interested in connecting with you. What's the best way for them to do that, Odin?
Yeah, they can just go to the Real Estate Joint Venture Club, just realestatejvclub.com. And all my information's there, and my email's odin@realestatejvclub.com.
Awesome.
Pretty simple.
Good to connect with you again. Thanks for being on the show.
All right, that's it.
That's it. Short and sweet, but I told you.
Holy man, I want more.
Well, let's revisit once you got this up and running. How's that sound?
That sounds good.
All right, everybody. Take care, and we will see you on the next one.
Hey there, I really hope you enjoyed that episode. And as always, if you want to listen to more daily interview content, make sure you subscribe. And if you're an active real estate investor and you're doing deals and you'd like to get featured on this show, then just head over to daveinterviewsyou.com.